Well, hello there and welcome back to my workshop, and I'm working on the JurgsCup3 challenge, which is to build a hollow body guitar. And of course, if you follow the Jurgs Cup, you'll know that that challenge has finished in the middle of April, and there is now a new challenge. So this is to build a guitar that your guitar hero used. And yeah, what inspired you to get into guitars and guitar building? So yeah, go and have a go at that. It's a 6-month challenge, and I understand there are prizes this time. So go along to the website and the Instagram pages. I'll put the links down in the description below. Anyway, I'm going to get on with these hollow body guitars. And I want to glue up the tops in this episode. So what I've been doing, this is the Alder, spelted Alder. And yeah, I've made the joint really smooth. I've just taped it up for the time being. And I was just looking the other day to see which way round I want it. Now I think I'm going to have it this way round. But what I need to do first of all is glue this up. So I'm going to get this glued up, and then I'm going to work on the other top. Now unfortunately I don't have any sort of fixture or jig that will clamp this. It's just too big. But this is my sanding board. I've got sandpaper stuck on the other side, and on this side it's been waxed, so the glue shouldn't stick to it, and it's fairly flat. So let's get this glued. I'm just going to use tape to glue it. And by tape, I just mean masking tape to hold it together. That should do the job. And that will keep it nice and flat. Now the other guitar is going to have a maple top, and I rather like it that way round. There's a bit of a splodge there which I need to cover up. Unfortunately, I think I can once that's in place about there. So most of it's covered. Well, most of it will go, and there's just a little bit there where the neck comes in. Otherwise, I think that looks reasonably good. So what I need to do now is get these two edges really smooth and flat. Okay, when I push these together, that looks pretty good to me. I've just found this old kitchen door which I think is going to do the job to keep this flat. I've put a strip of tape there with some wax on it, and we'll glue that up. I think we're going to have to hold these down as well as push them in. So I'll tape them together, and then I'm going to hold it down with the clamps. Now it's coming to the end of the day and I've glued up 2 tops and I've also got 2 backs gluing as well. So that's pretty good for today. What my next job is going to be is to take this former I've got here and to attach these ribs. And this is the one, if you remember, where I'm going to use the mahogany or sapele that I've got in there, and I'm going to just cut in to the sides there, just do a join and make it as invisible as I possibly can. Well, good morning, another day in the workshop, and I'm going to need a cup of tea for the job that I'm going to do today, because today I'm going to cut the ribs into the front piece of this guitar. Okay, let me give you a quick recap. With the other guitar, I've managed to bend the ribs round the lower horn, covering this block. I'm not going to be able to do it with this guitar because the sapele doesn't bend at all well. And so what I've decided to do is create a sapele block and then cut the ribs into the block at the front there. So that means there's going to be a join. Now then, you'll see the join, and somebody I think at Crimson Guitars always said, if you've got to make a join or fill in a hole, make it a feature. And that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm making this guitar for my granddaughter, so what I thought I would do is I'd actually cut her initial into the joint. So this will be a solid joint, and then this M will just sit above it, and so it'll be carved, cut out of this rib and carved into the front there. There's a challenge for you. Let's see if we can do it. First things first, swig of tea. I tell you what, it helps if you open the top. Okay, so first I'm going to cut the letter out of the rib, and I've just taped it on there. Probably easier to do it without a ruler, to be honest. Well, look, it's not great, but I'm hoping some dust and glue is going to fix the problem. My little idea to leave some raised bits to come through there didn't work, so I'm going to have to fill those. Easier to fill it after the event, I think, with something. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is glue this in place. I don't think there's anything more I can do with it. I'm going to get it glued in place and let that cure, and then I can do some work to try and fill in those gaps. I've taken an opportunity to glue the end as well to keep the whole thing square. Of course, I've got to do another M on the top there. Let's hope I can do that better. Right, well, I did the upper horn and I've glued it all up, and I just need to leave this to cure now, and I'm going to leave it overnight. So now I'm going to start putting the kerfing round the back of this guitar, and I've got some various bits that I've just manufactured using my kerfing jig. Now then, let's see what we can do here. Usually breaks when I'm putting it in, so not worried about that. As long as I can get it glued nice and tightly, that's what's important. Looks reasonable. Okay, so that's all done, just needs to dry. Let's put that away. Now, I didn't film all this because it's a bit laborious, but basically to get the centerpieces of this M, what I've done is made myself a triangular shaped piece of wood from the offcut of this piece here, and basically what I've done is just stuck them into those M pieces. So I've cut it out a little bit and stuck them in. So I think once it's sanded down, they're going to look pretty good. I've also taken the opportunity this afternoon to update my palette of wood dust and glue. If you haven't seen my video on how I made this, then I'll put a link in the description and hopefully in the corner there. But basically these are different dusts, and I used CA glue with this top row, PVA the middle row, and Gorilla Glue with the bottom. And the thing about it was that the dust went really dark, and quite a few people commented saying, Dave, use Titebond because that won't change the colour. Well, here we go. I now have some Titebond, so I've added that to my palette, and it does go slightly darker, not quite as much. So if you look at the Zebrano there, that's the dust, and that is the dust and glue. So it is quite interesting with all of these things. Anyway, what I've done this for is I need to be able to fill in the little M with some dust just to hide it. And in actual fact, it looks to me as though probably the mahogany and ash mix with PVA is probably about the closest. If I look at the same mix over here, it's much darker. It's sort of a reddy colour I need, and that is probably the nearest one I've got. So I think I'll use that to do the filling in. So far so good, just need to put a bit of dust and glue in there just to fill that gap. So we'll see how that dries. Okay, well, I let them dry overnight, and I've come in this morning and sanded them off, and I think they're looking reasonably good. Yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments, you know, good or bad. I did a bit of nerdy stuff yesterday and sorted all my violin clamps out, and my other clamps. This is where the pegs go, and my small clamps. So I've got them all ready. I've also found some kerfing that I cut quite a while ago, and this is, I think it's out of cherry, but it's dark wood, which I think will go nice with this guitar. Not that anyone will see it. Right then, let's get gluing. I'll speed up this section. I'll play you a little tune while I'm doing it. Well, it's not the prettiest clamp up, but it'll do. So I need to leave this to set, and then we can have a look at it. Right then, well, I've sanded the back and I've marked it up with pencil. I sort of flipped it from one side to the other. That to me is a bit noisy. It's got a bit of black in it. This one I think looks nicer. So I'm going to cut that out on the bandsaw. Looks nice. I think it's time to glue it on. Well, there's no harm in using all your available clamps, so let's just going to leave this and see what it looks like. Well, I've put the kerfing on and I've cut out the back. Unfortunately I haven't got any more clamps at the moment, so I can't stick it on, but it's all ready to go. Well, I do really feel like I'm making progress on these guitars. Always takes a while. I was really pleased with that little M that I've put in, and the way that it sort of matches in with the wood there. I just love that. I would call this video a day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back fairly soon to do the necks and sort out the top. One thing I need to bear in mind is for this guitar, this is the Sapele guitar, there's going to be no electric pickup, it'll just be a piezo pickup. So I need a way of getting in the amplifier and the battery into the back there. So I've got to think about that. And yeah, I'll come back with that on the next video, I think. Anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. Take care. See you soon. Stay safe. Cheers.